All right, so welcome to our special stream here. So I'm just going to go through. This is going to be a more informal meeting than we usually have. There's a couple different tasks that I wanted to go through. There was one resume we didn't get to yesterday that I wanted to kind of cover. And then also we discussed the using AI for interview prep or job readiness. And so I wanted to give a little bit of a demonstration of how I've used that with Gemini by putting the job description in and information about the company and utilizing it that way. So we'll see how that works out, and we'll just kind of play it by ear. So this will be our usual time streaming moving forward. So every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Eastern. Let me go ahead and share this over here, because those of you that are actually in the meeting itself are kind of like the backstage area. And so I want to go ahead and pop that up for everybody here too. Um, But yeah, just as always, business casual meeting. It's recorded in live stream. Don't share anything you don't want to be public. If you do, reach out to me. Send me an email at contact@studygrc.org or on LinkedIn, Discord, or otherwise, and we'll get that fixed. Feel comfortable to come up on mic or video, ask questions, even if it's not related to the topic. Worst case scenario, we'll circle back around to it. And definitely drop your personal LinkedIn as well. So this is a pretty friendly community here, and definitely, especially if you're new or otherwise, we definitely want to get connected. Share useful resources, what works for you, and jump into the topics with the group. So even if you're not that familiar with it or there's a topic you want to discuss, just go ahead and mention it. So yeah, definitely always open for the GRC discussions in particular. And then also, if you want to join the backroom area, the actual meeting, that's going to be meeting.studygrc.org. You can find that link on the homepage of our website right now, along with our Discord, YouTube, and LinkedIn pages as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and get this moved over. Yeah, it looks weird, doesn't it? All right, so that should be good there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and swap the screens. All right, and so one of the first things, so this is one of the resumes that I didn't get to yesterday, so I just overlooked it and I wanted to go over this again. Let me go ahead and get that properly sized there. Off the bat, I think it's pretty to the point. We are going to start asking for more context on exactly what they're looking for. I do notice that there's a bunch of white space still at the top. I would probably remove some of that white space a little bit for the margins. Name, phone number, email address. I would also recommend to put a title. Like maybe you're looking for risk management or you're looking for GRC generalist or compliance analyst or whatever type of role that you're applying to. And if anybody else has anything else to jump into, let me double check here. Yep, so the audio should be good now that I got that figured out. That open. Yeah, and welcome Sergio, Space Tacos, Cyber from Fire. And thanks for dropping that link, Space Tacos. So those are some of the key things that point out to me on the initial portion of the resume. I think the font is okay. I do see how they went through and did the bolding. So multilingual business professional with extensive experience in risk management, compliance, and human resources across healthcare, higher education, and manufacturing sectors. Passionate about advising, guiding, and educating with a mission to enhance governance, mitigate risks, and ensure regulatory compliance. My take on that is I feel like that's a little broad. Yeah. Yeah, and so, like, I think Dwight said same to me on stating that that summary is pretty broad. Now, this could be a master copy that they're gonna utilize to tailor it out. Let me I didn't get that full message there. Let me pull that up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull that up here in a moment. So Rhonda just dropped some fire resources there. Awesome.
Yeah, it lets you know how you guys were talking about the base resume last night. It lets you go ahead and put everything in for each of your positions and whatnot. Um, and then you put in the job title and the job description and everything like that, and then it kind of runs through and kind of AI generates it. But it also has a section in there for creating a federal resume and a traditional resume as well. So you can do both if someone was looking for federal resume assistance as well.
Yeah, I think yeah, that looks like a great resource. And like you said, that's open to anybody as well. So you
Yeah.
do
Oh,
not
that's
have to be a
awesome.
veteran.
No.
I dropped that in chat on YouTube as well.
And
Yeah, and so like
I
I'm
messaged the
sorry?
guy, and he added the projects thing in there, but I do need to message him again and ask him about volunteer, putting a section on there for volunteer work as well. So he just
Yeah,
got the project.
welcome to the party, Rachel. On the YouTube side there. To add the volunteer section on
Yeah. He just added the project one recently, so he's pretty open to message, and if there's different features, he pretty well got it done quickly when I requested the projects one edition.
and that's the person behind that website?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I see that there is a LinkedIn link at the bottom of that website as well. That goes
Yeah.
over to Brad.
Yeah, and it goes over. It does like optimization on the LinkedIn too. Once you're in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think that's a really good resource. I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and also Space Tacos did mention.
Well, maybe he's also out.
It made me think of Rusty when he got that
Yeah, so Space Tacos did mention it's broad but easy to customize if they do that for each job. That's kind of my thought, is that this is just an overall. I think this is like a master copy, is what I'm thinking.
Well, that does let you do a master, and then once you get your master in there and you like put in, you go in to create a resume, it'll pull from that once you put the job description and make the alignment. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, and then struggling on mobile. Oh, I see. Yeah, I was pulling that open, so yeah. Yeah, and then moving down to the relevant experience, they do have the date over here, job title. I think that's pretty simple. I like how straightforward this resume is just off the bat. There's nothing fancy about it. Did you want to drop a link to that, Dwight? Is that like I might have missed that yesterday. So with the relevant experience here, they have it marked out governance. They do have the bolding marked out for the different titles here. So audit 40% of incident reports spanning patient care, security events, and workplace violence, orchestrated investigations and enforced follow up. achieving a 95% closure rate, and ensuring 100% adherence to regulatory standards. That's a lot of numbers there. I think that's good. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good statement there on the second one. I think it's still going to depend on what type of position you're applying to. I definitely feel like this would be something that you're looking at, like audit, compliance, regulatory, which also would go along with the summary. Spearhead claims administration and litigation management efforts, reducing liability exposure by 25%. That's a pretty big one. Reducing liability exposure by 25%. Compliance. So forge alliances with regulatory agencies, health insurance companies, and law enforcement to guarantee. Yeah. Yeah, that might be a good point. So Dwight mentioned that it would be nice if that was a dollar amount, because I do see that there's all these percentages here, and that's great, but I think you probably could mix that up a little bit. And that liability exposure would probably be a pretty good one. Training educated 500 employees on incident reporting system and compliance requirements, fostering a culture of safety and risk awareness. So something I would probably add there would be something along the lines of like, so educated 500 employees on incident response reporting system and compliance requirements, fostering a culture of safety and risk awareness. I would try to maybe rephrase that a little bit, or add to that, like maybe nurturing maybe not nurturing. I'm trying to think about like you are continually working on the fostering a culture of safety and risk awareness.
Yeah, fostering is a good way to word it.
You think so? Active participation in multiple committees, including emergency management, ethics, patient safety, and security advisory, to propel compliance and risk mitigation initiatives. So if you're on that many committees or otherwise, I kind of feel like I would have that up towards the top.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, so for the fostering thing, if you wanted to word it to where it's implying an ongoing thing, you could just reword it to say fostering a continuing culture.
A continuing culture. Yeah, that would be another
just
way,
would
potentially.
be a good option. This
Yeah,
is a
I
really
feel
strong
like,
resume. I like it.
yeah. And I like how straightforward it is. But yeah, I would probably move this committee leadership section up above, like up to the top of this job section, or I mean, you may even be able to put a section in here for committees. Let's see. The next one here, so compliance management overhauled HR policies, procedures, and handbooks to ensure alignment with regulatory requirements and industry-leading practices. So if you're looking at the cybersecurity realm, I don't think it would be wrong to change the handbooks over to playbooks, just for the key wording. Let me check chat here. Oh, jobscans.co. Space Tacos did drop that.
If it's talking specifically about HR, then I think handbooks is a good way to leave it, because playbook starts to take you outside the realm of HR. But if you're talking about cyber, then yeah, playbooks or run books would be a really good way to do it.
Yeah, and that would I don't feel that would just be tailoring it out, in my opinion. Recruitment and onboarding directed the applicant tracking system, orchestrated new hires, orientation for both English and Spanish speaking employees, which is also one of the first words that they have up here, so multilingual. Ensuring full compliance with HR regulations. And so I do see that you have procedures up here. You mentioned regulations a couple different times. I think that's safe. I think that's a good way to do it. Stakeholder engagement, partnered with employment centers and universities to attract candidates while maintaining adherence to HR compliance standards. I mean, overall, I think this is really, really strong. Also, I want to go ahead and throw it out there too. So I wanted to go through and do a demo on how you can utilize AI to help with like interviewing practice for a job role. If somebody has a particular job that they want to pick out, you can go ahead and send that over to me in one of the chats or on Discord or something. I have not picked out a particular job yet. Yeah, and welcome Yalemd 77. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say on this one. Like, I think this is really good. Have metrics included. So the last two. So the only one that has the metrics is the first one, actually. B-dubs is eye for detail. Participated in an accredited process. Ensuring adherence to educational standards. Yeah, adding more metrics to it. So I do see here interviewing with 164 applicants. You can also reword that to say something like over 150 applicants. Partnered with Team Health and established ER certification program. Also, yeah, and marking out the key accomplishments. I think that's a pretty good section. And then projects here. So Loan Shark Holdings. So a authored a third-party risk management policy which incorporates applicable security controls from CSF 2.0 that were mapped to PCI. Education. So a Master's of Business, BA, Bachelor of Arts, Language and Culture. So that's probably where the multilingual comes in. GRC Analyst Masterclass. I'm sure, any, Team SC, seeing that on the job resume, that's got to be worth a couple extra points. And
Oh,
the
yeah,
Security Plus.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be a few more pages up on the deck. Oh, wow. So then languages, American Sign Language, which I know is pretty big for corporate. So I've seen that around. American Sign Language, Spanish. I'm not sure about the pronunciation for that one. Creole,
Creole.
French, and Italian. Computer software, Microsoft Office Suite, incident reporting, and claims management. I would try to be a little bit more specific about that. So you could definitely say Microsoft Office Suite, but I would try to actually say like, oh, do you have experience with ServiceNow, or if there's any particular industry software that you've utilized. And then regulations and frameworks. So you have the CSF 2.0, RMF, HIPAA, ADA. I kind of feel like there could be more that you could put in there as well. So like with the healthcare, you may be able to add on like high trust CSF with that. You did
They could
mention
also,
PCI.
yeah, that. Yeah, you caught what I was about to say.
Yeah, you also mentioned the PCI mapping from 2.0. So you could probably throw that in there as well. And I would really take a look because it looks like especially on the committees, maybe you have experience with SOX or maybe not GLBA because I don't see finance on there, but I'm sure there's more regulations that you've worked with in the past. Professional memberships. See, this is where I'm thinking that like having a different section for the committees may be a good spot, but maybe above education or maybe underneath education, in between skills and education, list the committees. Skills at the top. Yeah, and like what we've said as in the past as a group is, especially if you don't have the experience, but yeah, it looks like they have experience in the risk management side, but they're trying to pivot or otherwise. Skills at the top. What do you guys think about putting a different section down here for those committees? So I'll scroll back up to it. No, it's right here. So committee leadership. Active participation in multiple committees, including emergency management, ethics, patient safety, and security advisory to propel compliance and risk mitigation initiatives. I'm going to go ahead and double check the chat again. And yes, Yamlove77. Yep, my name's Chris. So I'm not up on screen right now, but yep. Definitely hit me up in the Discord or otherwise. Oh, Yalamed. Yalamed. Okay. I will try to remember that. Yeah, and Space Taco, it looks like, is agreeing with marking out a particular type of software for the claims management. Welcome to the party, Larry. Hey there, Brenda. So we are changing our stream time to Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. So that's why I wanted to throw this up this week, just so that way people can start getting into the hang of it. And then also Space Tacos mentions if anybody has taken Jerry's GRC masterclass to utilize the bulletin points that he gives in the course. So I think there's a lot of bulletin points that he provides in that course. I do believe that you do have to tailor that down a little bit, but yeah, I would utilize those. And you could probably associate, at least with this resume, you could probably associate it with some of the previous job roles here as well, or at least on the projects. And there's a couple different projects that are involved with that course as well. And that does, well, it does touch on SOX or on SOC, but yeah, let me see. Yeah, I'm glad Space Tacos at this time works better for you too. So the time slot opened up for Thursdays. There was no like hard set thing for Wednesday nights. So we had the ability to swap. I do not want to swap the timing. I plan on staying on Thursday nights. We do have plans for additional streams in the future. And it just seemed to work out well for multiple different people. So there's a couple different speakers I want to have up as well. Just Wednesday nights were not an option for them. Not to mention several of the community members. So I'm glad we were able to swap it around.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris,
so Jerry, yep, go ahead.
I just want to mention about Jerry's course. He gives us, if I remember correct, he gives us 8 resume bullet points to use in our, obviously in our resume. They're part of the projects that we do in that class. So when we hacked to bits my resume yesterday, doxed, my entire project section at the very top was all 8 of those bullet points unedited. I did not change a word.
Let me pull that up because I thought there
Yes.
was more.
So whoever's resume this is, if you took Jerry's course, please put at least one of his
Are you
bullet
talking about?
points.
Are you referring to the technical proficiency section?
No, I'm talking about the GRC project work that I had at the top under the technical
Oh,
proficiency, which I have now edited, by the way. Thank you for all the suggestions. That right there, those are his points. I did not change a word.
yeah, and Dwight, it's not doxed if you do it yourself.
Yeah,
Password
well,
sticky
whatever.
notes. Yeah, right.
But yeah,
All
if you
right.
take his
So
masterclass, which is amazing, definitely you've gone through all of it and you've worked through the projects with him, use these bullet points because that helps to fill out your resume with things that you need to get a GRC job.
yeah, and I think that's an awesome shout out. Yeah, because I've went through it a couple times, but I only pulled some of the different bulletin points personally. I
Yeah.
still need to work on mine. So we're going
Yeah,
to start
well, that's
doing
fine.
the job readiness and resume review the last Thursday of each month, starting next month.
I think
And
that's
we'll
a
make it a
brilliant
regular thing.
idea.
Yep.
I think those are
We
really
also
helpful.
implemented a section in our server as well. So if you go onto our Discord server, which is just discord.studygrc.org, to join that, we have a section in there now where you can actually submit your redacted resume. So we could put it on the backlog for the next episode to review.
I think that's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I will
I
shut
think
up
it's.
now. Thanks.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. I love the shout outs there. And so that's what I have up on the screen here that Space Tacos was mentioning is so these are straight from that course. Oh yeah. So yeah, I can go ahead and pull that one up as well. So if we wanted to, we can go through another one of the resume roasts as well. I'm going to go ahead and swap back over to this other one for a moment.
Nothing.
It is on my list to take in the spring once I finish my master's.
You will not regret it.
I believe that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally got my job because of that class.
Well, and I want to do another shout out actually here. So let me pull this up. I don't think I could pull it up on the stream, but let's see. So there was a recent review in the Simply Cyber Discord that I wanted to recap here. So where is it at? That's always the hardest part is finding it. Course feedback. Okay, so yeah, so course feedback. So Priceless Pancake posted on the 15th stating, I finished the GRC masterclass as someone who has been doing gap assessments and GRC adjacent tasks from 800-171 in CMMC to NIST CSF for 4 years now. And here are my thoughts. I learned so much. I've been self-taught my entire career, learning as I go in a way that gets the job done, as I'm usually the one guy in the organization. This course showed me the proper way to do things and corrected several misconceptions I had about learning on my own. What I was doing good enough. What I was doing was good enough, but it was not the best or the correct way of doing things. GRC is my passion, and I now have the tools to correct the items I didn't have down as well as I had thought. I can do that before going into GRC specific interviews and bumbling around. I am going through the class again, altering notes and adding as needed. So good to have the ability to do it twice. Never be too proud to check yourself. This course checked me really well, and I am only grateful to learn now instead of later. I thought that was a really, really great review. And I mean, that's one reason why so many of us talk that course up so much, because it is that great. And you could find that in the Simply Cyber Discord as well. And I dropped a link to Simply Cyber's website there. Yeah, and if you want to drop those links to Space Tacos, you're more than
I'm
welcome
working on
to.
it. I'm actually pulling those up right now, but just real quick, in addition to his GRC masterclass, Jerry also has an exposure management class that's free. And I'm going to find that link as well, and I'll drop it in the YouTube chat because I'm on the YouTube and this thing too. So give me a second.
Is that the
Yeah, it's on
XM
the.
Cyber one?
I got it.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah,
the
I'm
XM
dropping
Cyber one,
that
that
one.
one's also fantastic.
Yeah, I just dropped the XM Cyber one for the exposure management. Oh, okay, there you go, Space Tacos. Yeah, and that one's completely free. And then, so that is one of the courses, one of the different things on our resources page as well. So you can find some different communities and some other training resources, paid and free, on that website there, on our website for our resources page. I think that pretty much concludes this one here. So we talked about moving the skills to the top. I personally think moving a little, maybe half of this open white space at the top. And it does seem like it's a master copy, putting more metrics in the additional. So there's great metrics in the first one, but putting more metrics in the other experiences. And then also listing PCI under this cybersecurity section here. And you also want to go through and see if you can add more specific software that you're familiar with. And those bulletin points. So what I'll do is I should be able to copy and paste that into our Discord. And I'm actually going to do that right now. So I'm going to take it straight out of that one that I was streaming, and I'm going to throw that directly into our Discord now. So I'm going to list it as a Team SC GRC course bulletin points.
I'm going to change mine to GRC Mafia.
Your name or your server?
Yes.
All right, so now I have those in there. And then you could also copy those over and put them in your server there too. So the GRC Treasure Trove is on our website there under that resources section for groups and communities too. And then I'm going to go ahead and move over to this other one. Again, I wanted to go through and do some demonstration with the AI too. So if anybody does have a particular job description, a job listing that you would like for me to use as a demo, I'm going to go ahead and get this other one pulled up now. All right, there we go. All right, so this should be up now. Thank you so much for your time, Space Tacos.
Thanks. Bye.
Good luck.
Thanks for
You got
stopping
this.
by.
Yeah, and you can always change. Yeah, especially for the projects, you could change the name title, like Dwight mentioned. And then B-Dubs did mention too much white space. I'm catching up on the chat here. More recent revamp. Okay. On that previous one, I don't think it's too bad. So it's just under 2 pages. I think moving some of the white space in the header and footer would probably help. But you probably could make it. But if you add the bulletin points for the GRC analyst course from Gerald, it probably would still push it to 2 pages. But you may want to actually remove that white space margins, make it wide, and then add those bulletin points on from the GRC analyst course, and then it'd still come out to about 2 pages. That would actually be a pretty good strategy. All right, and then let me go ahead and close this out. So this is the next one up here. Double checking everything's running. All right. So nice big block at the very top. I don't see another section for contact or anything else, so I'm assuming everything's up in here. So probably name across the top, hopefully a title of some, oh, they have the title right here, Information Security Analyst. Pretty generalized. And then probably their contact info, website, so forth. Information Security Analyst with strong background in systems administration. Over the past year, led initiatives achieving a Cisco Kenta score of 320, reducing risk by over 270 points, and maintaining a Microsoft 365 Defender score of 72% plus, surpassing peers by 100%, led organization to a zero findings audit report. So this one was submitted by Anonymous. Dwight. So this particular individual, I believe, oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, zero findings audit report. Yeah. Anonymous with a CISSP. Zero findings audit report from the NCUA examiners in 2014. That's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, that's really good you put that up there, I think. Let's see. And I will probably butcher your name there, but I'm just going to say Memoraletta. But they did state that the font does seem a little bit distracting, although the listed skills looks really good on the top portion here. And they are recommending to actually introduce that as a bulletin. So the summary into bulletins, and provide a more generic summary for the first sentence, it looks like. Yeah, because you do have these metrics up in the top there. I kind of feel like you probably could leave this here, but you probably could still put that. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, if NCUA potentially could include GLBA and FFIEC. That is a lot of technical skills off the bat. I do like the fact that you're providing the full name, not just the acronyms and so forth. Definitely on the technical side, not GRC at all. Digital forensics and incident response. Is this sorted A to Z?
Yes.
I thought so. I guess this would also probably be a master copy, so I would assume that this would probably be modified, take out or reorganize it based on priority. So like if the job description calls for threat detection or tabletop or something along those lines, you'd move that closer up.
Yeah, it automatically did the alphabetization for me, alphabetization, and then yes, this is my master copy.
Yeah. I think that's a really strong master copy. You do have GRC in here, though. It should say GRC compliance analyst or something like that up at the top, though. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's see. Yeah, I am kind of thinking that this, especially with how wide this is, it seems really, really busy with the font. But it is a master copy. But it is only 2 pages. I do like the fact that the current role is completely filled out to the brig, but the previous rules are more to the point. And you have your metrics in here. And like this is one that you mentioned at the top. Education, WGU, in progress. Oh boy. Yeah, and then this section here, that's
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I'm still trying to find a solution that has a better way of formatting the certs section, short of me going in and just manually building like a spreadsheet and then importing something like that. But pretty much so far, all the automated resume tools, they all are one form or another of not it. When
Yeah.
you have as many certs as I have on that list, yeah, it won't let you. I mean, you can, but it's just that long list with the big white space in the middle it aggravates me too. I still need to fix it.
Yeah, so we're in agreement that this should be reformatted differently for all the certifications.
100%.
I mean, other than that, I mean, yeah, I think maybe playing around with the font a little bit, maybe. With how wide it is, it does look really busy. But down to 1 page, I think it's pretty safe. Like I would, minus the certification section, I mean, I would probably send it after utilizing the keywords and organizing the technical skills. Space Tacos did say that those being alphabetized makes her really happy. Straight cash, homie.
Awesome.
I'll get a soundboard. That's another thing I want to do. So yeah, that's a really good point too. So Space Tacos did mention doing like a 3-column for the certifications.
Yep.
Yeah, for the credentials.
100%. I wanted to do
Mhm.
that. The tool that I used to build this resume, which was Teal, doesn't have any ability to go in and make any changes to how the certification section is organized. I want to do
Mhm.
3 columns, so I might even just pull this out, throw it in Word, and then make myself a 3-column in Excel, and then just merge it into the Word document.
Yeah.
It'll be work,
But yes,
but
yeah, very impressive though. CISSP, Pentest Plus, CISA, Network Plus, Security Plus, BL, the Blue Team Level 1, Gold Badge.
oh yeah, I need to add
Yep.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, you should probably add Gold Badge on there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but so with the Blue Team badges, if you get, I think it's over what, 90%, or is it 95%, you get a Gold Badge?
It's over 90%. You get a gold badge. And it
Okay.
takes a while because they have to physically fulfill the order from England. I think it took like 4 or 5 months to get mine.
Oh wow. But so
It's
that's
sitting over
the
on my
special
desk.
thing. Yeah, that's the special thing with the Blue Team Level 1 or the Blue Team badges is over 90% on the exam, and you get a gold badge. I mean, me personally, I'd be walking around with it, but that's me.
Yeah.
OSINT researcher, the PJOR, Project Plus, Server Plus. Yeah, very, very, very strong. I'm not going to read through all of that. Active countermeasures. Bam. That's some bonus points too. Dungeons and Dragons. And virtualized home lab SAN environment. So I'm not familiar with it, but I've heard of it before. How they have their own like lab systems that you could deploy, like VMs. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah, this one's just built entirely from scratch out of a rack mount server running Proxmox, and I built everything from the ground up. It's got like 18 or 20 different VMs plus virtual routing and stuff like that. It's its own standalone SOC and production environment.
Credit Union Party. That's a dope list of certs for show. Yeah. Not jealous at all is what Space Taco says.
This is
And
the
Space
result of
Taco's
not having a life for the last year and a half.
yeah. But yeah, I mean I think that overall that's pretty strong resume. Much better than yesterday's. Redemption a little bit.
Yeah. Yesterday's was very much not it. This one, I'm still going to continue to work on the formatting and get it better, but at least this is like 75% of the way there.
Yeah. Group the sorts by brand. Yeah, especially if you get that into like a 3-column or something, you could really condense that down, or even bulletin points.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this off. All right, and then did anybody have any particular, hold on. Okay, so yeah, we're still up. So did anybody have any particular job applications or job descriptions that they wanted to go through? Otherwise, I'll just look on LinkedIn and find one. Or any other particular topics or anything that you guys wanted to talk about? All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up LinkedIn and then just search for something like GRC analyst. I don't think doing one out of San Francisco would be fair enough. There's one in Hopkins, Minnesota. Let me see. Okay, so this is a senior role. We could go through and do a senior role. That's fine. I would prefer an entry-level one, though. I'll leave that up for a second. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop this screen up here. So I'm most likely going to have to go off and play a little bit with the screen sharing as far as getting this over into the AI. Yep, see you later, Evan. Thank you for joining. All right, so like this is a GRC analyst position that I just found on LinkedIn just by searching for GRC analyst. I'll just skim this real quick. So consistently ranked. So it's talking a little bit about the business itself. Lagan. I'm horrible at names and pronouncing things out. Out of New Jersey. This individual will serve key function, development, implementation for their GRC program, perform periodic gap assessments, third-party risk management efforts. So, yeah, okay. So this is a little bit unique, though. So this does have a 2+ years of experience for programming or otherwise in .NET, C, ASP, let me see. That doesn't seem very common. It's probably because they're probably a software company or something along those lines. Let me see if I can find a better option here. Yeah, screenception. Yeah, that's basically how it is on my end. Okay, so this may be a better option. Oh, I just messed up. All right, there we go. Now I have it shared properly. So this is a position that I just found on LinkedIn as well for Bank of America. So information security controls specialist, responsibilities, process analysis, process modeling, process governance, using Visio, end-to-end quality of processes within business functions, support program effort, GIS processes. I mean, on the initial, I might be missing something, but this looks like a good entry level role here. So I will actually drop the link to this too, so that way you guys can take a look at it directly. Yeah, that was kind of why I was I didn't want to do that one, because I haven't seen programming requirements for a GRC role. But I'm going to go ahead and drop these in chat real quick. So this is the one I'm looking at for Bank of America, which on initial, so information security control specialist, I think I'm going to run with this one. This looks like it would be a good one to practice with. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new chat with Gemini. So you could do the exact same process with ChatGPT, or it should probably work well with Claude as well. I personally use Gemini, so that's what I'm going to use here. We shouldn't need any of this additional information for shift and below, but the desired skills, required skills, responsibilities, they do have some information here on what they're looking for the job description. So the whole job description, and I'm also going to grab that title. And so I'll move over to that tab here in a moment. All right. And so I'm typing this, I'm just copying and pasting this over into the prompt. All right, let's see. And then another thing we want to do is so this is something I had mentioned last night, is that I've seen people talk about going through and utilizing AI to assist with interview prep, interview questions, things like that. The one thing I haven't really noticed many people mention is including information about the company, more information about the company. So you want to take that job description and so forth and that key information, but then also you want to look into the company itself. And so, we just want to, our mission and vision. So, here, our about us. So Bank of America about us. I probably won't take the whole section. They probably have a whole page about it, scattered among multiple different ones. Let's see. So I'm just going to take some of this key information and copy that over as well. And I'm going to also put it in the prompt. I'll show you the prompt here in a moment when I swap the shared screen.
Is that a job wreck? My bad. PBO late.
Oh, you're fine, PBO. Thanks for hopping in. So we went through a couple of the resume reviews that we missed yesterday. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm just prepping to just show a demonstration of how you could use AI to assist with interview questions.
Okay.
And
That's
so
an
I'm
excellent
swapping
idea.
this. Yeah, so I dropped it in the chat for the Bank of America one that I picked out.
Can you show the whole ad? Did you show the whole ad? I know I'm late. I can only see that.
So if you click on the chat icon in the bottom, next to the hand, in between the share screen and the hand, it'll open up the chat on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And then you should be able to. Yeah, and so go ahead and take a look at that real quick if you wanted. You can read through that stuff way faster than I can.
Oh,
I've
I
seen
see
you
what you're
do it.
saying. No, I see what you're saying. It's in there. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yep.
The link's in there. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's perfect.
Yep, and I
Start
think that's a
perusing.
pretty good one to run off of. And so let's see. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap over here.
Okay, 136.
Careers, Bank of America. All right, so now you guys should be able to see my Gemini here. And so I can make this a little bit bigger. I can zoom in. And so what I've copied over so far is I took the job description here. I put the job title in the top here, copied everything for the job description that it had. And then up here, I just put a little bit about the company. And then also I'm prompting it. So the company for this position is Bank of America. Please provide me guidance. Or here is Bank of America. I would like to so anybody in here should be able to come up. You got your hand up, PBO?
I do.
Oh. Yeah, you can talk.
I'm trying to be respectful. In my old age.
Oh, yeah, I'm just typing this out.
No, you're good. I guess just looking at there, I didn't see a compliance. I didn't see GDPR, GLIBA, or anything. Did you? Am I missing that? I just thought that was weird for a bank. So if I'm interviewing, because I'm old and grumpy, I would ask them, "Are you doing GLIBA?" Or when none of that's in there, so I'm trying to show my skills that I notice you don't have anything in there. So what is your bank doing? Are y'all CCPA? Are y'all GDPR? Shout out to Dwight. He getting his CIPP. Where's our privacy at? Y'all bank. They don't have any of that in there. So I thought, what's your thoughts on that, Dwight? I'm calling Dwight out like I'm running it. What's your thoughts on that, Dwight? I interrupted Dwight's dinner, man.
The whole job description,
huh?
They need a whole other page to list the stuff they want to do. They're gonna scare away candidates.
No, just put a couple things. I thought I would see some stuff like GLIBA or FINREC or something. CCPA. They didn't have anything. I don't know. You think I'm wrong, or you just think they're scaring them away? I want the best candidate, Dwight. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know.
That ain't no good answer, Dwight. I don't like that answer, man. As an OG, I thought that was a soft answer, but now I feel you. That's it, Chris. I just thought I thought I would see something in there, especially with what's the title? You talking about security control specialist? What are you securing? I don't know. That's
Bank of
PBO
America.
being grumpy. That's probably why they're getting hacked. That's why they're getting hacked. Go ahead, Chris. That's my 2 cents. Just perusing it.
Oh no,
real
you're
quick.
good. You're good.
I didn't see any of that.
This is. Yeah, he didn't see 853. Got hot.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, he's just upset the 53 is missing. That's a really good point.
I should at least get a Glibber or something, man. A FinRack, you a bank, man. Come on. For a bank, Dwight, come on, man.
You know, I really need to put PBO's channel on like hotkeys here.
I appreciate you, man.
PBO has literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hours worth of content over there. So
I got 100, but go ahead.
780 videos with an average of above 2 hours each. So I would say I'm going to go ahead and drop his channel in there. So Professor Black Ops, complete study GRC regular, GRC Mafia, streaming still Tuesday nights, right? Over on your channel.
Correct. Tuesday at 9. I think I'm gonna go Thursday at 6, right before y'all. But maybe I
Two
start.
streams.
Maybe I need to start at 5 because I thought I was gonna be up here an hour later. So
right.
Maybe I need to go 5. But no, shout out to y'all also. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Long story short, when I look at there's certain things I'm looking for that I got a skill set in. Shout out to Dwight and you for doing a privacy stream. When y'all doing that on Wednesdays, the privacy?
So what we're doing right now is our weekly stream will be Thursday nights, which is why we're doing this. So Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Me and Dwight are meeting up in the Discord every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Central, right? So I believe it's 5 p.m. Central. I actually should probably double check that. 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure that's the correct one. I did add it to the calendar, PBO. So yeah, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. And I'll go ahead and drop the link to this too. So we do have the calendar here that I'm going to try my absolute best to keep up to date. But PBO keeps me in check on that too. Which something I just noticed is on our calendar, our Thursday stream is still has the title for Wednesday meeting. So that's something I have to update in real time.
I got a complaint. Dwight's picking up my A1C being high. I should be eating a candy bar right now. But go ahead, my bad. I'm going to take you off. Yeah.
I mean, you did call him out there.
I
but
did.
yeah, so
I did it on purpose. I got faith in him. When I got faith,
exactly.
I'll be calling you out on the spot, man. The young Padawan. I don't think I spelled it right though. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. And so like I don't have a pre-designated or like a sage prompt that I've used in the past. This is pretty much what I've done in the past with a few different job descriptions, as I just go through and make the prompt out. So I go through and just, put explain who the company is, what I want it to do, and so I want assistance with doing an interview practice for this particular job position, for this particular job description. And to please continue the conversation based on the following information as a real world interview and provide a rating based on my response. So a rating based on my response. Oh, popping over open developer there. 1 being worst and 10 being great. So we'll see how this portion works out. What we'll probably do is I'll maybe refine prompting for this to make it apply a little bit easier, so the community could copy and paste a little bit easier. And then I provided some information from the Bank of America website about them, what matters to them, and then everything from that job, including the title at the very top. And so I'm going to go ahead and send that, and we'll see how this responds here. All right, and so you guys should be able to hear this. Let me know if you cannot. All right. And so that's one of the interesting things is that now, we can have an ongoing conversation with it. Something I did want to show is that I could actually pull this open on my mobile app and which PVO is going to freak out about, but yes, I have mobile apps PVO. I could open up this same conversation and then Gemini and ChatGPT have a conversational feature now that allows you to have an ongoing conversation in audio only, which is really unique.
Something I did want to show.
And so I'll demo that here in a moment.
My mobile app, and which PVO is going to freak out about, but yes, I have mobile apps PVO. I can open up this same conversation and then Gemini and ChatGPT have a conversational feature now that allows you to have an ongoing conversation in audio only.
Oh, Regine got to mute her stuff. She good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I went ahead and muted.
Oh, did you do that? Good job. Good job. Boo on the mobile apps, by the way. I just got back. I ain't like the mobile apps, but keep going. Boo on the mobile apps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so it's a really cool feature. But so this is where you could just do that little bit of prompting. And so thank you for coming in today. To start, can you tell me a little bit about your background? And so that's where, like right now you could cheat. So that's one benefit with this is that you could cheat and you could look at the job description, but in the real world, you're not going to be able to look at that.
Facts.
I'm sorry about that, B-dubs. Struggling on mobile, team mobile. And so, but this is just for the practice portion. So you could do this on any job application or any job description you would like that you're seeking in. So thank you for coming in today. Background and what interests you in this particular role. So I'm going to say something like, I'm known as Professor Black Ops on YouTube with a couple decades of experience in, what? Oh, I'll just say 53 SME. So, and this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting because, hopefully, as long as it works properly, it's going to go through and it's going to keep going. And so with ChatGPT, you could do the same thing. You could edit your text. So if you want to see how else it would respond, you could, of course, go through and modify that. So then I could say, I've been studying the NIST CSF 2.0 and PCI DSS 4.0 while attending several courses and interning at a local nonprofit for about the last year. I am seeking a rewarding position within a established company. I'm just going to send it. Oh, and Evan is also T-Mobile while grilling steaks. Poor PBO lost his barbecue fund.
Facts.
Don't mention steaks. All right,
Facts.
so I modified that section. So thanks for sharing your background. I'll just let it read it. The first part. Actually, I'll go ahead. So thanks for sharing your background. It sounds like you've been proactively building a strong foundation for information security. Commendable. However, in an actual interview, I would encourage you to elaborate a bit more. Here's why and how you could improve your answer. So connect your experience to the role. While mentioning CSF and PCI is good, explicitly connecting those to information security control specialist role. For example, you could say my studies of CSF and PCI have given me a strong understanding of security control frameworks. And see, that's one key thing is in this particular job description, they did not specify what framework. Yeah, I'm going to demo that here in a second. So here's an example of a stronger response and then rating. Now let's move on to the next question. So then I'll go ahead and pull up my camera here in a second. And so the question here is going to be, this role requires experience with process modeling tools. Can you describe your experience with process modeling tools? I don't even know where to begin with that one. Such as Visio. So like Power BI. Yeah, exactly. It's directly out of the job description. And this is another issue with utilizing this is that this is basing it as much as possible off of the job description. And like I've talked to a lot of people who stated that like either nothing on their job description was even mentioned or only bits and parts of it. So they either add too much or too little. And I think on this particular one, I don't think they were that descriptive. Answer like a politician. In a neutral sense or as a election year?
Making up shit. I think that's what he's saying, man.
Yeah.
Then you get in the corner, just kind of. But two, I think that's for you and men is I think as part of that, do some modeling, I guess, out of Visio and some of those practice things you're doing. I just thought about that.
Thanks for joining, Rachel. You have a good night. All right, and then so I have the actual chat up on my phone here for this one, and so that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go into conversational. I don't know how. I'm going to restart that. So I do have a little bit of experience with. Wow, I already screwed that up. Wow. Let me remove that one. See, now I'm already putting myself in the spot with AI. Okay. So I do have a little bit of experience with Visio, mostly in the Microsoft 365 platform with their web version. I've done some diagramming, such as like network architecture.
Right.
I got to do. So I do have a little bit of experience with Visio, mostly on their website with the web-based version of it, building some network architecture diagrams and a few different things with that. I have been on a couple teams that did use it a little bit more.
That's great that you have some experience with Visio, and it sounds like you've used it for a variety of diagrams. While network architecture diagrams are useful, the job description mentions using Visio for BPMN diagrams, which are specifically for mapping out business processes. Do you have any experience creating BPMN diagrams using Visio or any other tool?
Yeah, I do have a couple years of experience with that as well. I'm pretty comfortable with that aspect.
That's excellent. Having experience with BPMN diagrams is definitely a big plus for this role. Let's move on to another question. Interviewer, tell me about a time when you had to analyze a complex process, identify inefficiencies, and implement improvements.
So one of the different situations to implement. See, I'm putting myself on the spot.
Okay, it sounds like you're getting started on describing a situation.
I need to listen more and not read. Let's see. Let me refresh that. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Okay, so analyze the process and implemented improvements. Okay. And so One cool feature is you can also pause it. So that's a benefit. Bebubs, you're coming up next. Analyze the process and implemented improvements. So one of the processes that we were investigating was we were looking at doing a deployment for our sales team. We added a few more personnel on, and we needed to make sure that everything was connected properly and there'd be no issues with this deployment. While we went through with this process, we identified a couple different areas that could be improved. So with the workflow in particular and being able to deploy the software automatically, um, utilizing our remote software with Microsoft 365.
That's a great example. So it sounds like you were able to streamline the software deployment process for your sales team, which is definitely an improvement. Can you tell me a bit more about the specific inefficiencies you found in the original process and how you quantified the improvements you made?
So one of the biggest things that we noticed is it was taking an excessive amount of time for the reporting. And so we were able to leverage now built with AI chatbots that allows the our sales team to
That's
just
interesting. So it sounds like
it allows our sales team to just go ahead and talk to the AI chatbot out loud during the call, and it eavesdrops on it, which just automates our reporting requirements.
that's a very creative solution. And it sounds like it could be quite effective. It's definitely worth mentioning the specific benefits you achieved, like time saved or increased accuracy in reporting. Interviewer. That's an innovative approach. Can you share any metrics or data that demonstrate the improvement in efficiency or effectiveness? How would you answer that question?
So we went through and we have been taking metrics for an extended period of time on the call times, along with the typing speeds for our sales team, and we were able to identify a 200% increase in not only the extent that the calls were, but also how long it took them to complete the reports for each call following.
That's a great way to quantify the improvement. It sounds like you have a solid understanding of how to measure the success of process changes. Let's move on to the next question. Interviewer. This position requires strong collaboration skills. Can you describe a situation where you had to work closely with stakeholders from different departments to achieve a common goal?
We were going through an assessment, an organizational wide assessment, in order to gain a third party investor. And we really had to work together closely as a team to achieve that goal, which really involved going through and collaborating on multiple different departments across the organization to ensure that everything was perfectly fine and our policies were updated.
That's a great example of how you collaborated across departments. It sounds like the assessment went well, and you were able to achieve your goal of gaining a third party investor. Interviewer. Can you give a specific example of a challenge you faced during that project and how you overcame it through collaboration? How would you answer that question?
One of the biggest challenges that we came across was just communication. So everybody was in different time zones. And so what we ended up doing is we ended up utilizing a Gantt chart, and we started utilizing Teams in order to collaborate more closely in across different time zones on the particular projects.
That's definitely a common challenge when working with teams in different.
All right. I think we should do this a little bit more. I can already think of like 3 different ways we could do this as a group. Um, I think I would definitely want a different job description though. Did you stop laughing, Bebubs, yet? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just
Crystal
making
clear.
sure.
I really enjoyed
Perfect.
that. That was you had to stay on your toes, and I might actually do that for. I kind of like that because you got to kind of be on your toes and make sure you have your 2 minute elevator speech for different things out there, so you can pull it out kind of quick. So
So Dwight, so a couple weekends ago, I went through because I was very interested in the conversational features for Gemini and ChatGPT. I tested both of them out over one weekend. I feel that Gemini is more advanced in the conversational speech than ChatGPT. It is way more conversational. It can remember far more of the context. Um, I literally talked to ChatGPT, or I'm sorry, not ChatGPT, but Gemini in a conversation for over an hour and a half um, across multiple different aspects of GRC, just asking particular questions, and then I would even change it up and say, "Oh, how's the weather in Deadwood, South Dakota right now?" And it was able to jump back and forth very, very well. And ChatGPT just doesn't have the context to be able to back up a really good conversation. But um, I feel if we got a job description that actually outlined particular frameworks and had more detail in it, I think it would be even better. But my biggest issue is trying to actually listen carefully enough. But yes, PBO, this is something that we could set up and actually do it as a group exercise as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And I agree with the White. And B-dubs, that was I could get kind of intense. But go ahead. I could get kind of intense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you could leverage this for multiple different things. So there was something. So this textbook that I've been reading, that's where I really leverage the conversational part. Is it's easy to just say the command to activate it because it's eavesdropping on me all the time. And so there was a particular thing that I came across in here. So operational efficiency. So I was reading about operational efficiency in this GRC book, and that was one of the conversations I had with it. And that's one reason why I really like this. The conversation is really good. So could you tell me a little bit of a rundown on what organizational efficiency really is in the context of GRC?
In the world of business, GRC stands for governance, risk management, and compliance. It's basically a fancy way of saying that a company's got systems in place to make sure everything's running smoothly, risks are under control, and they're following all the rules and regulations. Now, when we talk about organizational efficiency in the context of GRC, it means that these systems they have in place are working well. Things aren't a total mess, there's not a ton of wasted time or resources, and they're able to get important stuff done without tons of headaches.
Okay.
It's kind of like how a well-oiled machine just runs smoothly.
That's really great and everything. But what I'd really like to know is how do you actually go through and check for organizational efficiency?
So there are a few ways to figure out if your GRC systems are running efficiently. You can look at how long it takes to get things done, like finishing up an audit or putting a new policy in place. If it's taking forever, that's a sign that things might not be as efficient as...
that's really great and all, but is there any particular frameworks or anything like that we could leverage for organizational efficiency?
Absolutely. There are a few different frameworks you can use. Some of the popular ones are ISO 27001, which is all about information security, and COSO, which is more about enterprise risk management. There's also COBIT, which gives you a whole framework for IT governance. Those are just a few examples, but they can all help you figure out where...
And so one of the biggest things that I want to also show here is, of course, you want to double check the information still because you're still talking with AI. And so I think it's great for particular questions and so forth. Like I kind of use it as a search engine to an extent, but you still got to be cautious with it. Always question it. Don't take its word for it. But it's a very cool feature. I really like it. And so I'm going to go ahead and swap back over to this.
Good afternoon, guys. We're doing AI.
Yeah, so we went through and did a couple more resume reviews, and then I was just going through and did a demonstration on how you could leverage AI to conduct a interview for a particular job description. And I was also showing the conversational feature for Gemini and ChatGPT there.
This is the paid version for Gemini?
Yes, they do have it on the free version too. The difference is which model you're using. So the paid version uses the 1.5 Pro, and then I think you just don't get the Pro for the free, but you can still have conversational with Gemini without the Pro.
And is Gemini considered the best AI right now?
I think that's very subjective, in my opinion, based on what I did in, I don't know, maybe 6 hours or so worth of playing around with it. I prefer Gemini over ChatGPT for conversational.
But how about all
It's
around?
So that's one of the very unique things with AI is that no AI is exactly identical. I feel that particular AIs are stronger suited for different tasks. And so for me, asking particular questions, so like one of the examples I used a minute ago is like while I'm reading this book about GRC, if I want to learn more about a particular topic like organizational efficiency, I'll just say the command to activate it and ask the question like, oh, could you further define? And so like, for an example, I could say, like, okay, Google, could you tell me a little bit about how you would onboard a vendor in a GRC aspect for risk management?
Vendor onboarding in GRC for risk management. Due diligence. Thoroughly assess potential vendors, including their financial stability, reputation, and security practices. Risk assessment.
And so that's primarily how I utilize Gemini itself. But see, like, on the research that I've conducted, that I've seen at least, like on some of the different diagrams that are out there, ChatGPT is better at analyzing data. So, like, if you have spreadsheets or PDFs, ChatGPT is better than Gemini on that aspect. But as far as conversational speech, I feel Gemini is better, and it has a larger context window to keep the conversation going. But again, I think that like the AIs have their own suits.
Okay.
I think the best thing is to just kind of trial it out and see what works for you. Let's see. And so, yeah, just like PB was saying too, yeah, I think we should definitely go through, and I'm going to go ahead and close this down here. All right. And we could do this as a group activity. So in the future, what we could do is we could use the conversational speech, and I could run it through speakers or otherwise, and we could use it, talk to it as a group, maybe take turns with different interview questions. Let me double check chat here. So let's see. Did anybody else have any other questions or anything else to add to that? So those were two of the things. Let me double check my action items here. And again, just remember, so next week we will be streaming on Thursday. We will not be doing Wednesday nights anymore. All right.
You giving up Wednesdays?
Yes. So we are getting rid of the Wednesday night stream and changing over to 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. That works a lot better for like 5 different people that I talked to. And there was also a couple speakers that were unavailable on Wednesdays. We weren't really locked into it. The reason we picked Wednesdays was just because it fit in with everybody else's. And so like SlaySec Plus is now streaming on Saturdays. So that leaves Thursday nights open.
So when you're doing the CIPP on Tuesday?
So Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern is when we're talking about privacy. For the CIPP, that's going to be me and Dwight, and that's going to be in Discord. So, and then the last Thursday of every month, we're going to do the job readiness and resume review. And we did add a feature in the Discord to submit your resumes for the last Thursday of every month. So that's a couple of the updates there. And yeah, I mean, that covers the action items that I wanted to go through tonight. So how'd your stream go, PBO?
It went fine. PDP came up and we went another hour, so I was trying to get over here, but it went
Again.
fine. So you were there for the start, so I mean it was pretty standard. What's your thoughts on it? You like that? That it was okay for the data center and global infrastructure?
I love diagrams. I absolutely love diagrams.
I'll try to put some diagrams in there. So yeah, Regine asked me that question and kind of got me thinking about that. I didn't really have a video for that, so.
ISO, privacy, volunteering, get it in where you fit in, get in where you fit in. Yeah, we love. This is why I need a soundboard. I'm gonna tell Osier I need all of the sounds from a soundboard. So I haven't been able to meet up with Minmin yet. So, and I know that he's going to be very busy next week. So I don't know the status update for the projects thing right now. We are going through and we're going to use CISO Assistant to start working on ISO for study GRC, along with policies and procedures and an assessment. What he was talking about is separating out the different annexes for the ISO 27001 to different people. But I think that that's going to be on hold for the next week. So we probably won't touch base on that again until the 28th is what I'm anticipating, because he's not available next week. So it's not, so if you, what I will tell you is that I don't know the status of the project at this moment, but if you did want to work on policies or procedures, or if you wanted to take a closer look at the annexes or otherwise, just reach out to me and we could get something rolling in the meantime. Because as of right now, like there's a long list of things that we will need to prepare. And we could get something rolling if you wanted to work on something for the following week. It's not going to hurt the project. So. Ideally, what I do want to do is actually have that as a regular thing. I would like to actually stream the meetings on Mondays. I'm not exactly sure. So Caesar's in here if you wanted to bring up his project or anything.
Yes, sir.
So Dwight was asking what project you guys are working on?
I'm working as me and 3 people. We're working on slowly but surely, because I'm just concentrating myself in just applying, but basically implementing ISO 27001 from the get-go. Basically we're doing a lot of project management stuff. We did Gantt charts, we did project charter, all the project management. We're getting that experience as well, plus implementing controls of a company that is a real company, but I had to take a lot of information out. So we're using a lot of real stuff and then just implementing all the people, technology, operations, controls of 2701. And we're using MXA. That's what we're using. So we're doing it as it's not going to be a project. This is our second week, and we're still on the project management side because we're trying to do everything as realistic as possible. It's just experience of us doing everything from scratch.
It sounds like you guys are focusing strongly on the concepts and the skills involved with it.
Yep. And there's a video, so that we're getting all the information. We're not making this up. We're getting all the information. I can post it here, and you guys can do it if you want. But is a video that teaches you how to do everything that we're doing from scratch, step by step. And it's actually a series of 4 videos. Each video is an hour long, and we're just literally dissecting we're like 30 minutes in the first video because there's so much stuff to do. We need to do the scope for the IMS, we need to do the scope for the project, we need to do the scope for the Gantt chart, and then policies that we need to write as well. So we're doing all that.
Did you I had mentioned this on I think yesterday too. Were you going to stream any of that or anything like that?
Basically what me and the guys are thinking of is, because right now we're it's like chicken with our head shoved off. We're just literally just we're spending our personal time watching the video, then we go back and write notes of the video, and then actually doing the stuff. So what we're doing is actually doing the project, finishing the project, and then we're gonna do the same exact thing we did step by step when we know 100% what we're doing. Because right now it's too messy.
Okay.
And we're practicing the agile method is what we're doing. We're not doing no waterfall. We can't do waterfall. We're just literally doing agile, and we have a sprint right now.
When are you guys meeting up for that? What are your schedules?
It's Tuesday, and then right now this week we had 2 sprints. So we finished actually one of the meetings right now, an hour. So sprint is just we're going over the same exact thing, fixing, implementing new stuff or editing stuff out, and then for Tuesdays or the days that we're doing it. It's step by step. Everybody has something like everybody's doing something, and we're just coming along and saying the same process over and over and over. But everybody is gonna get the same information, so we can literally sit down and say, this is how you do a Gantt chart, this is what it has, the product charter. I'm actually finishing it right now.
And you guys,
what it has, why it has.
And you guys are just following those 4 videos?
Yep, we are to the T. They're very long, but it has literally
Very long.
absolutely everything that you need to implement it. Everything, and super detailed.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if you could drop that. I think that would be a good resource. Then anybody can
I'll
go
do
through
that. I'll do that right now, actually, because
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if
let me get the playlist.
Yeah, that's like a course.
Yeah, it's literally a full course. Like honestly, more people should do that and not do the BS. Like tell me exactly how to do it from point A to point B. It tells you how to do the gap analysis. It tells you how to do everything and what paperwork you need, what you need in that paperwork, and why you need that paperwork. So it goes over everything. Like we literally sit down and dissect the video first, and then just write everything down in notes, and then we implement whatever we need to do.
That sounds very time consuming.
Yeah, a little, but there's not something that you're gonna sit down and finish it in a week. It's not. I don't think it's gonna happen unless I don't even think. Not even if you have all the time, I don't think you're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
I'm gonna send you the playlist.
Yeah, definitely dropping that in the chat and everything else. Yeah, and so I should hear back from Min in the next few days, hopefully, but I don't expect that to proceed much further until the 28th, just because he's blocked out for next week. And then PBO still hasn't done his course yet. And then, I mean, unless you guys have any other questions or anything else, I'm probably going to go ahead and end it here in a moment.
That's those are the links. If there's something that you guys are interested, just let me know and I'll add you. And I guess we need to set up a date so I can show you everything we've done and explain it to you, because you definitely want to know the information. Yeah, that's actually the playlist. So when you see, if you Chris, open it up in your screen and stream it, and then I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, because these are like less than 5 hours.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I haven't even counted the hours. Okay. So basically, the video that we're in right now, if you look at the title, is the first one, implementing from start date to finish case studies. Or hold on, did I send the right one? Yeah, from scratch. Yeah. So if you see the first one, it says 2700 from scratch made easy. So the first phase is writing the IMS, information security management concept documents. That's clause 4, writing project, and then you have phase 3, gap analysis, and then you have the rest of the videos. And then obviously that's just the title, but there's more things in those videos. The longest one is the first one, because he goes in details of how to do the Gantt chart project, all like everything that you need, and that's what we're doing.
And
honestly.
So something I'm really excited about is did I shared the wrong one again. Let me see. So I got to swap that one, and then there we go. So one of the things I'm really excited about here is coming up. We have Chris here, who's certified with ISO, and so I actually reached out to him, and I told him, I'm like, both me and him just started talking because it's a very common question. Oh, how do I get into ISO when it's like you have to pay for the papers and everything else. And
I
so
can
he
answer that
actually has
question.
gone through. Yeah, well, and so he's actually gone through and made an entire presentation and everything else on how to do it from with a beginner's guide. So those people who are
Mhm.
interested in getting into ISO, who have little to no experience, he's going to do a whole presentation on that. And he's actually going to be doing that at a B-Sides event as well, shortly following.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date, but it's going to be shortly following the time that he
Is it
airs for
is it
us.
February? I'm actually gonna be going because he's actually coming to be basically. Is in Austin.
I think it was in December.
No,
It might
February.
be more than
It's-
one. Yeah, it might be more than one. Well, I know he wanted to do November because he was going to be presenting it somewhere. Um, I'll try to pull it up real quick, and I could probably drop that in chat too. Let's see.
All right. So boo, boo, boo. This is the link that I'm gonna throw here. Is the book that I bought. And this book gives you the 93 controls for implementing. And this is basically the same exact thing as a framework, just cheaper. And it actually gives you reasons why you want to implement it, when you should implement it, and basically everything around it. So it gives you a little more than the actual framework itself. But those are the first 90, or those are the 93 controls that you want to implement when you do audit to reduce information risk. And that's the same exact thing
So,
as a framework.
so in comparison to CSF, so how does the tailoring work with that, or is it you have to do all?
No, with this one, the first four clauses you have to do them. Like if you want to be, if you, and by the way, the project that we're doing is at the end when we do the project charter, the main reason for this project is so the company gets certified. So if you want to get certified, the first four clauses, or excuse me, four to 10, if I'm not mistaken, you have to do it. CSF is tailored, is custom to the company, and every company is different. Whatever I consider important for me, Chris might consider something way different important for his business. So see, that's one of the differences with CSF is everything is custom. With ISO 27001, a lot of people says, "Oh, you can custom it, but the first 4 to 10, you have to do it. If not, you're not getting cert. It's just not going to happen." So it
So,
really all depends who you're talking to.
Out of curiosity, what is so me and you talked about this reference before with
Mhm.
Adversera. Have you done any of those ones? Because I was
Yes, I
just
have.
curious because those ones are free,
Yes.
so I'm trying to save people some money.
These are going to be for free. At that point, if you do want to get the certificate, you pay 300 and something dollars for these guys. These guys are actually pretty popular within the the ISO umbrella. I guess the company is recognized. Just do it for the knowledge. But if you actually want to get, I guess, a little more in depth, more, I guess, I don't want to say better information. I understand some people might not like ISO, or excuse me, Udemy, but Udemy has Aaron Lang, and Aaron Lang is known for being an expert in the ISO. And there's an actual course that he has is actually for the lead implementator. Basically, that's the one that competes with the CISA for ISO, and he teaches
So
you how to implement everything from scratch as well.
let's see. One of my only issues. So what I'm trying to focus on is the fact that the information is out there for free, and that's one of the big things
Yes,
that also Chris is doing. And so like this gives you a complete implementation for ISO, and then also leveraging community and so forth. So like you don't have to go off and like get the book and so forth.
$11. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the book,
Yeah,
that's if you want to do it. If you want to have
yeah.
like because if you're gonna
There's
do, for an
options. That's
example,
all.
yeah, there
Yeah,
is options,
and like
but
there's that course there too that you shared on YouTube.
correct. But I do have this as well. If you're gonna do the project that me and the other guys are doing, how are you gonna get the controls? You're gonna pay for the book $50, or you're gonna pay 127 or $180 for the framework?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was an all-in-one. I didn't look at
No.
it.
No. Like you actually need to know what controls you're going to implement, because you could find some of that in, I guess, in the internet, but they're not updated. Remember,
Now,
now we are in the 2022 2701 for the ISO.
So with this, so like that ISO one, it sounds like he goes over the concept. So you could probably take that, because like the second video there is like write effective ISM S documents, and then there's also like conduct gap assessment. So like that seems like it would apply to more than ISO too, which would be a huge benefit.
Are you streaming?
I didn't swap it.
Oh, you're talking about the videos. Oh yeah, yes. Correct.
Yeah, this is like skill based.
Correct, the skills, but there's if I don't think I might be in the first video in that
I'm gonna have
long
to
one.
add him.
Yeah, he's very, very knowledgeable. By the way, there's some people say that he has a very thick accent. I can understand him perfectly. But not a lot of people, like, he might have a thick accent for some people, and some people already told me that. And I'm like, I can understand him perfectly. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, just keep that in mind.
PBO.
Oh yeah,
I think
I'm with PBO. $11, $12. Just wait for the discounts.
The sale, they got 7 hours left. I think I got like 10 classes in my queue. I usually just go buy something. I want to learn about it. Just put it in the queue.
I spend so much money, and Udemy is ridiculous, and it sucks. But yeah,
I noticed after I made an account, they stopped giving me deals. So I had to, they kept prompting me to make a new account to get deals.
No, I get mine every 3 months. It seems like they put a deal out there.
I don't know. I get mine. Let me see. We're in the 7th. I already have 3
I gotta
this
add
month.
these. Yeah, it's just like this Adversera thing is an amazing resource. I haven't actually added it to the website, but I really should add this to the resources
Great
page.
information.
Yeah, and then it's just like that course that you just shared too. Like I'm gonna skim over that a little bit, because I like the fact that like the gap assessment's only 18 minutes. PBOs I think is about 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you go into the link that I sent to the chat for the Udemy video? There's the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, let me pull that up on the screen. Yeah, because with all these resources, we're gonna have to make a ISO category for them.
It's on sale for $13 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine says 84.
You're not streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, 84. Click to redeem.
It has
$14.
See, new learner offer $15.
He's not logged in.
You're not logged in. Chris, you're not logged. You're not logged in.
No, I don't. I don't really use Udemy. I don't even know my information for Udemy anymore.
Because for me,
I had such
I already
a bad
have
experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know do you know who he's at? Who's that? Aaron Lang?
Yes. Yeah, I know him. He just recently did an interview with Jacob Hill.
You got it. Yes, sir. And Aaron Lang is known for being a very recognizable person when it comes down to ISO 27701 and basically all the families of 3000s, 4000s. It's so he knows what he's doing, and then he has his own company that if you want, I don't recommend it, but if you want, you can go there and you can actually get the certification to be a lead implementer for ISO. That's what he's teaching you here, how to become a lead implementer. And this is the certification.
Do you know the website?
With the yeah, it says 3 certs.
The website?
Yep, it's if you go on the top of that in the Udemy, it says it. What you learn. That's the company. No, on the bottom, what you learn. There you go. No, there you go.
Oh, Tricert. Does he actually? I don't know if he actually works for them. I think that might just be the company he goes through.
It's long though. It's like 10 hours, but he's going over all the controls. He even gives you assessments to do in here as well, so that you get hands-on experience when you take his course.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because I haven't looked at his directly. Let me go ahead and pop this open. Yeah, because he's good company. So information. I might not be in the right. So training programs, certification programs, more than likely.
He's
Yeah.
like a Jason Dion, but in the European version. That's what he is, Chris. So you can understand. For the ISO,
I was looking.
that's
Yeah,
what
I
he
was
does.
looking for the implementation, the 27K implementation one
hmm
from him.
And
That's
then
what I was
and the
curious.
newest one is 2002 is the newest one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because what I wanted to compare it against is so GRC Academy recently teamed up with PECB
hmm
for their ISO certs, and from what I've been told is that they're cheaper than anywhere else that you can get the PECB certifications from.
How much it says here? $3,000?
So it's for GRC Academy.
No, not the ISO.
So
Oh,
yeah
600. Okay, I was like, bro,
yeah.
I thought, oh man, okay.
Well, and they have so like I was looking for the lead foundation lead auditor. So like the lead auditor right here for 650. So you got to be pretty serious about that. And then here's lead implementer as well for
Yeah, to
650.
definitely do that. Yeah, to definitely do
I
that.
was
But
just
the
kind of
thing is,
curious about comparing the two. I'm gonna try to find his company.
because the thing is, this is the certification that competes with the CISA for the auditor for the SACA, but they don't ask as much for this. Every company asks for a CISA,
Yeah.
so you better like ISO 2700 to get that.
Yeah, and so the lead
He's German.
implementer. Yeah. So the lead implementer from Aaron is €899.
Yeah, let me actually. I'm gonna do the conversion because he's German.
So that's about $973 US.
173. Yeah, it's more expensive.
Yeah, by like $300. I
Yeah,
was just kind of curious. Yeah, I forgot that it was GRC Lab, but
yeah. That's a
yeah, I
CompTIA
want to do
cert right
more.
there.
Yeah, I want to do more research on it before our ISO one, because like we have all these resources for ISO that I want to like have in the description and so forth too. But yeah, I was just curious because I was recently looking at these ones that GRC Academy just recently got, and from my understanding is it's the cheapest that are on the market for this brand. So
You might be right. And
I don't know
P&B
how he
is
did
actually
that.
well known for
Yeah,
ISO.
yeah, he's probably losing money on them.
Uh,
Please stand by. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm gonna bookmark all of these. And then just a heads up, my headphones died, so hopefully there's not too much of an echo when you guys talk.
there's no echo.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yes, there is. Credit card
Yeah,
really
well,
quick. Look at
yeah,
the one. Credit card.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here in a moment. So, I'm gonna drop the Discord in the chat there. So, adulting. Yeah, this stream was really just a casual one. We went through some of the resume review and so forth, and then we were playing around with some of the AI to practice interviewing with. It has gone a little bit late, so we've been coming up to almost 3 hours now, which is why my headset just died. And then now Caesar comes in like a wrecking ball with all kinds of ISO resources that we got to get added. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. So just as a reminder, we're going to be streaming on Thursdays now instead of Wednesdays. So it's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can also check out our website, so studygrc.org, for more information and the other social links too. You guys have